Debt is the most normal trap in the world. Almost everyone has it. Almost no one has a real plan to escape it. Minimum payments, monthly interest. The balance never seems to move. And every month, you stay stuck. The bank gets richer. But here is what the bank does not want you to know. There are specific strategies, proven, legal, and powerful, that can cut years off your debt and save you thousands in interest. And none of them require you to earn more money to use them. In this video, I am going to walk you through the complete debt elimination framework. The psychology behind why people stay in debt. The two most powerful payoff strategies. The hidden traps that keep you stuck. And the mindset shift that changes everything. Before we talk about how to get out, you need to understand how you got in. Because debt is not an accident. It is a design system. Banks, credit card companies, and lenders are not in the business of helping you. They are in the business of keeping you paying interest for as long as possible. Here is how the trap works. You borrow money. The lender charges you interest. Interest is not a flat fee. It is a percentage of whatever balance is left. So every month you carry a balance, you are paying interest on the interest from the month before. This is compound interest working against you. The minimum payment is the masterpiece of this trap. It sounds helpful. It sounds manageable. But minimum payments are mathematically designed to keep you in debt for the maximum possible time. A $2,000 credit card balance at 20% interest, paid at the minimum, can take over 10 years to clear and cost you more than double in interest. And it is not just credit cards, car loans, student loans, personal loans, buy now, pay later schemes. The modern world has made it easier than ever to borrow money and harder than ever to pay it back. The system profits from your confusion, your optimism, and your inertia. Here is the most important thing to understand before we get into the strategies. Getting out of debt is not primarily a math problem. It is a behavior problem. The math is simple. The behavior is hard. And any strategy that does not account for human psychology will fail. Let us get into the strategies. There are two proven debt payoff methods used by financial experts worldwide. We will cover both because different methods work for different people. The first is called the debt avalanche, and if you follow it perfectly, it will save you the most money. Here is how the debt avalanche works. You list all your debts. You put them in order from the highest interest rate at the top to the lowest interest rate at the bottom. You make minimum payments on every single debt. Then every extra dollar you can find goes entirely to the debt at the top of the list. The one costing you the most. When that highest interest debt is completely paid off, you take all the money you were throwing at it, the minimum plus the extra, and redirect it entirely to the second debt on your list. Then the third. This is called the avalanche effect. Each time you eliminate a debt, your payment power grows. Why is this the most efficient strategy? Because high-interest debt is the most expensive debt you have. A credit card at 25% interest costs you more every day than a car loan at 8%. By attacking the highest rate first, you stop the bleeding fastest. You pay the absolute minimum in total interest over time. Here is a simple example. Imagine you have three debts. A credit card at 24%, a personal loan at 12%, a car loan at 6%. Using the avalanche method, you destroy the credit card first, while paying minimums on the others. Then you roll that full payment into the personal loan, then the car. Every step builds momentum. Now let us talk about the second method, the debt snowball. This was made famous by finance expert Dave Ramsey, and it is used by millions of people worldwide, not because it saves the most money, but because it works for how human beings actually behave. The snowball works like this. You list your debts again, but this time you order them from the smallest balance to the largest balance, completely ignoring the interest rate. You make minimum payments on everything, and every extra dollar goes to the smallest debt first. Why smallest first? Because of psychology. When you pay off a small debt quickly, you get a genuine win, a real sense of accomplishment. Something that feels impossible starts to feel possible. That emotional win creates motivation. And motivation is what keeps most people going when the process gets hard. Studies have shown that the Snowball method leads to better completion rates than the Avalanche, even though it costs slightly more in interest. Why? Because a strategy you actually follow is infinitely better than a perfect strategy you abandon. The math says Avalanche. The psychology says Snowball. The answer depends on who you are. Here is how to decide which method is right for you. If you are disciplined, data-driven, and motivated by numbers, use the Avalanche. If you have struggled to stay motivated with debt payoff in the past, use the Snowball. The most important factor is not which method is better. The most important factor is which method you will actually stick to. Now let us talk about the traps, the things that work against you even when you are trying, because knowing the enemy is as important as knowing the strategy. Trap number 1, only making minimum payments. We already covered the math, but here is the key message. Every month you pay only the minimum. You are making a choice. You are choosing to stay in debt longer. You are choosing to give more money to the bank. You are choosing comfort today over freedom tomorrow. Trap number 2, taking on new debt while trying to pay off old debt. This is like trying to bail out a boat while leaving the tap running. Every new purchase on credit while you are in debt elimination mode extends the timeline. Every buy now, pay later item adds a new chain. You cannot get out of the hole while still digging. Trap number 3, debt consolidation done wrong. Consolidating multiple debts into one loan can reduce your interest rate and simplify payments. That sounds great. But if you consolidate and then keep spending on credit, you have not solved anything. You have just made more room to accumulate new debt. Consolidation is a tool, not a solution. Trap number 4, lifestyle creep. You get a raise. You feel better financially, so you spend a little more. The raise goes to a nicer apartment, a newer phone, better clothes. And suddenly you have more income, but no more money going to debt. Every income increase that goes to lifestyle instead of debt payoff is a missed opportunity to escape years faster. Trap number 5, not having an emergency fund. This one surprises people. Why save money when you have debt? Here is why. Without a small emergency fund, even just $1,000, every unexpected expense goes straight back onto credit. Your car breaks down, your phone dies, your child gets sick. And suddenly you have new debt erasing the progress you made. Here is the question most people get stuck on. Where does the extra money come from? I am already stretched thin. I have nothing left at the end of the month. If this sounds like you, you are not alone. But I want to challenge that assumption, because most people have more room than they realize. The first place to look is subscriptions. The average person pays for multiple subscriptions they either forgot about or barely use. Streaming services, app subscriptions, gym memberships, magazine subscriptions. Go through your bank statements line by line. Cancel everything you have not used in the last 30 days. That money belongs to your debt. The second place is food spending. Eating out, takeaways, and convenience spending are the single biggest budget leak for most people. Not because food is expensive, because frequency adds up invisibly. Cooking at home even 3 more times a week can free up $50 to $100 per month. That is $600 to $1,200 per year going toward your debt. The third place is selling what you own. Every home has items gathering dust that have real value. Electronics, clothes, furniture, tools, books, marketplace. Apps have made it easier than ever to sell things in hours. A one-time sale of items you no longer need can create a powerful lump sum payment that eliminates an entire debt from your list. The fourth place is income. An extra income stream does not have to be a second job. It can be a skill you already have. Can you teach something? Fix something? Design something? Write something? Even a few hours a week of freelance work generating an extra $100 to $200 per month can cut years off a debt timeline when applied consistently. Here is a strategy that almost nobody talks about and almost everybody can benefit from. You can negotiate with your creditors. Banks and lenders are not fixed walls. They are businesses. And businesses will often make a deal rather than risk getting nothing. For credit cards, call your card provider and ask for a lower interest rate. If you have been a customer for a while and have a reasonable payment history, this works more often than people expect. You might go from 24% to 18% with a single phone call. That difference, over months of debt payoff, is real money. For debts in collections, if a debt has been sold to a collection agency, you often have the most power. These agencies bought your debt for pennies on the dollar, which means they can accept less than the full amount and still profit. A settlement offer, paying a lump sum for less than what you owe, can eliminate the debt entirely. Always get any agreement in writing before paying. For hardship situations, most major lenders have hardship programs they do not advertise. Temporary reduced interest rates, paused payments, extended terms. If you are going through a genuine financial hardship, call your lender before you miss payments, not after. Lenders are far more willing to help people who communicate proactively than people who have already defaulted. We have covered the strategies, but there is something deeper that makes the difference between people who get out of debt and people who climb right back into it. And it is a mindset shift, not a tactical one. A fundamental one about what debt means and what money is for. Most people treat getting out of debt as the goal. It is not. Getting out of debt is the floor, the minimum, the baseline from which everything actually starts. The real goal is what happens after. When the money that was going to lenders starts going to you. When compound interest switches sides. When your monthly cash flow is yours to direct. The wealthy do not think of debt as normal. They understand that debt is rented money with a cost attached to every day it exists. They avoid consumer debt the way they avoid any unnecessary cost. And when they do use debt, they use it strategically to acquire assets that produce more income than the debt costs. Never to fund lifestyle. The transformation is real. People who eliminate their debt describe it with one word over and over: breathing room. The absence of that constant financial pressure. The ability to handle an unexpected expense without panic. The space to make decisions based on what is best, not what is cheapest. That breathing room is not a luxury. It is what normal financial life should feel like. And here is what happens next. The same discipline you built paying off debt becomes the foundation for building wealth. The same habits, the same consistency, the same willingness to delay gratification. Except now, instead of sending that money to banks, it is going into investments, into assets, into your future. The skills are the same. The direction changes. I promised you the most important thing you can do in the next 24 hours. Here it is. Tonight, before you sleep, write down every single debt you have. Every one. Credit cards, loans, buy now, pay later. Money owed to family. Everything. Most people have never seen their full debt picture in one place. The act of writing it down removes the power of the unknown. Next to each debt, write the balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment. Now you have your battlefield. From here, apply the Avalanche or the Snowball. Decide which extra debt, even if it is the minimum plus $20, you will target first. Then set up that payment automatically if you can. Automation removes the monthly decision and makes the strategy self-executing. Finally, find one thing you can cut or sell this week that generates even $20 to $50 extra. Put it all on that first targeted debt, not on a treat, not on something you were saving for, on the debt. The momentum of the first extra payment, even a small one, is the spark. Everything gets easier from the second payment forward. Let me bring this all together. Debt is a design system built to keep you paying. But it is not inescapable. The Avalanche attacks the highest interest first, fastest mathematically. The Snowball attacks the smallest balance first, fastest psychologically. The right one is the one you will actually follow through on. Subscribe to our channel. We cover the money truths that schools, banks, and financial institutions never teach you. One secret at a time. The money game was never fair. But now you know how to play it. See you in the next one.